So Mr. Castellan, the man who controls the southern ports, is into this kind of thing.
You slipped into my suite. You should have seen this coming, shouldn't you?
This woman's scent. Why is it so much like the girl from that abandoned warehouse 10 years ago?
Then let's see if Mr. Cassian have the skills to please me. Caroline, your fiancé just got quality checked by your big sister.
You spilled wine on my suit on purpose last night. Wasn't that just to seduce me?
Name your price.
Planning to pay me off, Mr. Cassieff? You were nowhere near this businesslike when you tied me up last night.
I don't like small talk. Take the money and leave.
Just now, I scheduled this video to go out to the biggest media outlet in Texas.
Name your price.
I want you to marry me.
People who scheme against me usually end up fed to sharks.
Then by all means, Mr. Cassian, try me. Port Tycoon gets hit with a scandal like this. How many points will your stock drop when the market opens tomorrow?
Delete it yourself. Don't make me do it.
Can't. It's already backed up. You have 3 days. Either marry me, or that video lands on every headline right on...
Boss, we found out who she is. The woman from last night is Fallon Rhodes. The eldest daughter of the Rhodes family, exiled in Europe for 10 years. She's also Caroline's half-sister. Richard's daughter? She's probably back to take power. Should we stay away and not get dragged into their family mess? Stay away? She wants to use my ports as a blade against the Rhodes family business. Then what do you want to do? If she wants to play, I'll play it through to the end. Drive.
You're seriously out of your mind. You just got back to Texas and you're already provoking Cassian? Word is, that man is not easy to handle.
Not easy to handle? Then sit back and enjoy the show tonight. I'm not just taking Cassian. I'm gonna make Richard understand that every drop of blood he drained from me over the last 10 years is coming back with interest. Cassian, take me to meet the governor later. Richard says we need to make more connections.
I have something to do. Go by yourself.
Honey, miss me?
How did you get in? Get out!
So heartless. Have you thought about marrying me?
Using me as your gun? Aren't you afraid it might go off?
As long as I can get you, I'll take the shot.
Do you dare pull the trigger?
Cassian, are you in there? I'm coming in.
I'm coming in.
Cassian, you're hurting me. Gently. I can't take it anymore. Cassian! Open the door! Who's the bitch in there? Damn it! Just you wait. I'm telling Dad right now I'll have security smash this damn door!
The audience is gone. The show is over.
Cassian, what are you doing?
I don't like being used.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Richard's eldest daughter, exiled 10 years ago. You came back for the family's billion-dollar oil field. You want to use my power against the Rhodes family. You're too green to play these games with me.
Since you've investigated so thoroughly, the place is full of Texas tycoons tonight. What would they think if they saw Mr. Cassian being so rough in bed?
Let's find out.
Scream louder. Let them see exactly how rough I can be.
Satisfied, honey? Why don't we use each other? And both get what we want?
And what exactly do you have that I could use?
Honey, you're a lot more charming when your mouth is as honest as your body.
Whatever you heard in the hallway, swallow it. Cassian's transport lines are our family's lifeline. Tonight, this marriage alliance has to be sealed.
But... Okay, Cassian.
Cassian, come on, let me introduce you to a few operators. From now on,
How did you get in here, you crazy woman? Security! Get her out!
Make me leave? Do you have what it takes?
Get out now. Don't make me get rough.
Mr. Cassiel, you were so passionate in the lounge. What, now that you're dressed, you don't know me?
You crazy bitch! Let go of him!
Don't make such a scene, Caroline. I only borrowed your man for a little taste.
Where is security? Who let this slit in? Throw her out right now! I'll tear you apart! You dare seduce my fiance right in front of me?
Hubby, save me.
Stop. Cassian, Fallon is actually my... I'm not interested in the Rhodes family's domestic drama. But are you sure you want to put on a show like this here, Mr. Richard?
you're right. Sorry you had to see that.
It is pretty funny.
What do you think, hubby?
Fallon, enough! What did you just call him?
Shut up! You embarrassing fool!
I'm taking her with me. We won't be staying for the rest of tonight's dinner.
Wait! Tomorrow night is Caroline's birthday party at Rhodes Manor. Please do us the honor of attending. We can also discuss the port contract then.
Sure.
My little sister's 26th birthday. How could I, her big sister exiled for 10 years, not come in person to congratulate her? Dear father, have plenty of good wine ready tomorrow night. While I'm there, I'll settle that old debt with you.
Find out how that little bitch got into the chamber event now! Keep eyes on her!
Old man, that little scare already got to you? The real show hasn't even started.
You called me hubby in front of every Texas Typhoon. And now you're running off after using me?
Of course not, hubby. The act is only halfway done.
Come with me.
Cassian, you're hurting me.
You threatened me into marriage with a video and now you're afraid of pain?
It was a mutually willing deal.
Richard is desperate to shove Caroline at me because he wants to trade the Rhodes family's high-yield oil field for my transport ports. You ruined the alliance. How are you going to compensate me?
Marriage is marriage. Compared with a greenhouse flower like Caroline, I can satisfy you a lot better.
You are definitely more interesting than she is.
I'm not just interesting. I taste pretty good too.
I'll take my time savoring that. If you want to use me, you play by my rules.
What do you want?
City Hall, 10 tomorrow morning.
To register our marriage?
Obviously. Or did you go through all this just to find an affair partner?
You just got yourself the mistress of Texas' biggest oil field for free. I'd say you made one hell of a deal.
Correction. Right now, you're just a fallen heiress fresh out of exile without a single drop of oil to your name.
What's the rush? That oil field will have my name on it soon enough.
I'll look forward to it, Mrs. Caldwell.
I won't disappoint you. Caroline's birthday party is tonight. Be on time to pick up your new wife, hubby.
She is! Tonight is my birthday party! If she shows up, she'll definitely seduce Cassian again! He was supposed to be mine!
Shut up. With that little backbone, you think you're fit to be the heir?
Mom! Didn't you see how arrogant that bitch was?
She won't stay arrogant for long. Since she dares come tonight, I'll make sure she leaves on her back.
What are you planning?
That 70-year-old Howard from the East District has the drilling equipment your father desperately needs. Tonight, I'm sending Fallon to his guest room.
Fallon is so sharp. Will she really fall for it?
Sharp? 10 years ago, didn't she still end up lying in that abandoned warehouse like a dog? Just a few drops and she'll strip herself naked. Then Cassian can see exactly what kind of trash Fallon really is.
Mom, is this like the bottle from 10 years ago?
A stronger version. This time, I'll ruin her for good and let her rot in a psychiatric hospital for the rest of her life!
Hand over my mother's inheritance? Richard, since when are you so generous?
It's Caroline's birthday tonight. Come get it. Consider it something I owe you.
Fine. A starving wolf giving up meat for vegetables? Hubby, I'm almost at the Mannon. Richard might bully me. I'm all alone and so scared. When are you coming to protect me?
Terrible acting. Go ahead and have your fun. I'll be there in 30 minutes.
Hurry up. Love you.
She's hooked.
Mr. Howard is already waiting. Tonight, I'm turning her into a shameless whore who loses her mind in public.
Once her reputation is destroyed, Cassian will never want a scandal-covered madwoman. Then let's see how she comes back from that.
Fallon, meet Mr. Howard.
Where is my mother's inheritance? We're family. What's the rush? Today is your sister's birthday.
Sister, this drink is to celebrate your coming home. I didn't expect you to remember my favorite wine after 10 years.
Fallon, you lunatic! 10 years, and you still haven't changed the drug formula?
Caroline, you really haven't improved at all.
What nonsense are you talking about?
You dare make trouble here! Guards, grab this slut!
Richard, I'm Cassian's wife now.
Wife! Stop dreaming, you're just a toy! He won't care whether you live or die. Howard, she's yours. Put it toward the equipment debt. Deal. This wildcat is much more exciting.
Get your filthy hands off me!
Mr. Cassian? How did you... Who dared touch my wife?
Cassian, you've misunderstood. Fallon was lonely and desperate.
Exactly! My sister got wild overseas. She's seducing men. We couldn't stop her!
Cassian, you're about to marry Caroline. Holding her sister sounds terrible.
I feel like holding her. Do you have a problem with that? Matthew, that pig on the floor, which hand touched Fallon? Here. Both hands. Then break them both. Take him to the port and clean it up.
Who are you? What do you want? What is this supposed to mean? You and Fallon?
Have you lost your mind? She's a drugged out slut!
Mind your manners, dear sister. From today on, you'd better get used to calling me Mrs. Caldwell. Look carefully. Cassius and I are legally married.
Impossible. Cassian, you're clearly my fiancé. Why would you marry this lunatic?
Cassian, you would refuse a pure, innocent girl like Caroline? How are you going to explain this to your family?
One wife is as good as another. On this land called Texas, since when do you get to teach me how to act?
Ungrateful wret. I kindly introduced you to Howard, and you turned around and stole your sister's marriage. You're rotten to the core!
If Howard is so wonderful, then save him for Caroline.
What the hell are you saying?
Shut up! How could Caroline marry him? And you, how dare you hide a marriage this big from me?
Old man, I'll settle the drugging with you later. Right now, hand over my mother's keepsake, the pink diamond ring.
What lousy ring? I already dumped it on the black market for cheap. Stop acting crazy.
Dumped it. For cheap?
Murder! She's killing him!
You have 3 days. If you can't produce that ring,
I'll take your life as payment.
Ruthless. But I like you when you're crazy.
Cassian, you saw that, right? She's a drugged-out, promiscuous psycho! Divorce her now! I'm the only one worthy of being your wife! Cassian, what are you doing?
Mr. Cassian! It isn't worth destroying the marriage alliance over a woman with filthy reputation.
Fallow, you bitch! Just you wait!
Nice teamwork, Mr. Cassian. What reward do you want?
You smashed a whiskey bottle over Richard's head and used my name to threaten him?
what? You don't like me causing trouble in your name?
I underestimated how crazy you are. You walked into someone else's territory alone and started swinging.
Ready to risk your life over one diamond ring?
Well, I had you, didn't I? Or is Mr. Castellan worried about me?
You'd even throw your life away if it meant destroying Richard?
Not just my life. I'd throw in myself.
Damn it.
Mr. Cassian, you went pretty hard last night. The marks on my collarbone won't even cover with concealer.
Then don't go out.
Can't. I have to go to Rhodes Energy headquarters today.
As the hidden boss of Apex Capital?
Mr. Cassian, you really did your homework. I'm going to attend the Rhodes Energy board meeting as the head of Apex Capital. See you tonight.
Matthew, I'm personally attending today's board meeting at Rhodes Energy headquarters. Also, find the pink diamond ring Richard sold on the black market. Whatever it takes, get it back.
Dad, instead of helping me find Cass, why are you here trying to suck up to Apex Capital's boss?
Shut up! Apex Capital is currently Rhodes Energy's second largest shareholder and our biggest source of funding. If we get her on our side, we can swallow the oil field completely, and Cassian will dump that bitch for profit and marry you again.
This is all Fally's fault. If I run into her...
Fallon? What are you doing here? There's an executive board meeting about to start. You don't own a single share. You broke nobody. Get out! Why are you barking so early in the morning? Are you a dog?
Fallon, don't think you can do whatever you want just because you got a marriage certificate with Cassian. He's only using you as a toy. I'm the woman he's supposed to marry.
Is that so? Too bad Cassian worked very hard in the suite last night. He wouldn't even let me catch my breath.
Shut up!
I don't care what trick you used to force Cassian to sign. Go divorce him right now!
Richard, does the hole in your head not hurt anymore? Looks like I didn't hit you hard enough with that whiskey bottle last night. And you've got it wrong. Cassian was the one who insisted on binding himself to me. He forced me to sign, then offered his whole fortune to please me. You should be begging him for the divorce, not barking at me here.
Boss, I really didn't expect this. Not only are you married, you were the one begging her to marry you. You're watching the show. Keep your mouth shut.
Stop bluffing! You're just some cheap tramp who crawled into a man's bed and threw herself at him!
Cassian will toss you out like trash sooner or later. A woman like you, I need a be still its who mourner. Ah! Your mouth stinks. Thought I'd wash it for you. Come at me again, and next time it won't be coffee.
Boss, Richard's making a move. Watch.
Fallon! You dare lay hands on me?
Richard, this is Rhodes Energy headquarters. Show a little Texas gentleman dignity. Don't act like a gambler who's lost even his underwear.
Dad, look at her!
She thinks marrying Cassian means she can do whatever she wants. Once I meet Apex Capital's boss and get the money, she's the first person I'll destroy!
You must be the head of X Capital, right?
Mr. Richard, you're mistaken. I'm only a special assistant.
What? Then your boss.
Looking for me, Father?
Fallon? How is it you?
Allow me to reintroduce myself. I'm the controlling owner behind Apex Capital and the second largest shareholder of Rhodes Energy. Fallon.
Impossible. When we threw you out 10 years ago, you didn't have a penny to your name. How could you possibly have built Apex?
That's really none of your concern, since I'm a shareholder. Starting today, I'll be taking full control of the company's shipping line business with Southern Port.
In your dreams, since when do you get to touch Rhodes Energy's lifeline?
Fallon, you think a few shares give you the right to walk all over Dad? Who the hell do you think you are?
Don't forget who injected capital 6 months ago and pulled Rhodes Energy back from the brink of bankruptcy. Apex isn't just your second largest shareholder. It's also your biggest creditor.
Even if you are the one running Apex, you don't know a damn thing about shipping. I already finalized the Southern Port deal with Cassian. Cassian would never agree to switch the person in charge at the last minute.
Is that so? Perfect timing then. Cassian's team is already outside. Why don't we ask him directly?
Mr. Cassian, you couldn't have come at a better time.
This girl has no idea what she's doing. She's trying to steal the shipping line out from under us. A lunatic who was exiled for 10 years and got by throwing herself at men. What could she possibly know about crude oil logistics?
Caspian, she was making a scene downstairs just now. A filthy woman like her will ruin everything. Tell her there's no way you're replacing the person in charge.
From this moment on, Fallow is the point person for the port. Every logistics channel at Southern Port will recognize only Fallow's signature.
Have you lost your mind? You're handing Southern Port to her? She got kicked out 10 years ago before she even finished freshman year.
What would she know about running oil fields?
Really? Because the resume I saw says she graduated from Wharton with straight A's and became the youngest partner at a top Wall Street M&R fund. She doesn't need to know how to drill. She just needs to be able to hire the best geologists.
Thank you for your confidence, Mr. Cassian.
That's impossible! Dad didn't give her a cent back then. Where did she get the money for Wharton? Either that resume is fake, or she got dirty money overseas by sleeping with old men. Don't let this bitch fool you! Is this how Rhodes Energy treats its second largest shareholder?
Fallon, Caroline's just upset. Don't take it personally.
Shut up.
Since Cassian has put the port in my hands, the crude export project will be run by my rules. If anyone has a problem with that, Apex will pull every dollar of its funding as the largest creditor.
No, we'll do it your way. The whole project is yours.
Good. I'll be working out of Rhodes headquarters from now on. The panoramic office at the end of the hall is mine.
Don't you dare! That's my office!
Not anymore. Alice, call security and clear it out. In 10 minutes, I don't want to see a single piece of her junk in there. Mr. Cassian, about our next phase of deeper cooperation. Shall we talk in my new office?
Lead the way.
You really committed to the part in that boardroom, Mr. Cassian. So protective.
You went to all that trouble to force me into a marriage license?
Then told me you were coming to the company today. Isn't this exactly what you wanted?
Hardly. What I want is to swallow the entire Rhodes group.
So you used me to put on that little performance at the board meeting.
We both got what we needed. Once I take back the family oil field for good, you'll get your share.
Ambitious. I'll give you that. But
businessmen don't work for free. Where's my compensation for playing along?
What, last night at the hotel didn't satisfy you?
I still haven't signed the exclusive port logistics agreement. If you want it...
Send the digital copy to Alice's inbox. I'll sign it when I get back from my trip.
Trip?
Richard had his eye on a drilling genius in Midland. I need to go poach him. Tight schedule, heavy workload, no time to entertain you today.
And you think you can just run off?
I'm actually going to recruit someone. What, with that look on your face, are you planning to sleep with me on this desk?
Why not?
Stop acting like you're in heat, Cassian. My flight isn't going to wait for you.
This drilling engineer in Midland, is that important?
He can help me pry the group out of Richard's hands, so yes, he's important.
There's been a lead on your mother's pink diamond ring. Richard sold it into the black market. I can help you get it back. But what are you going to pay me for my recovery service?
I have 9 figures in cash sitting in my account. Name your price.
I'm not short on money. The payment I want comes from you.
Fine. Once I have the ring, I'll make sure you get a very generous price.
Boss, there's news about the keepsake that belonged to Miss Fallon's mother. Where? Dallas. There's a Topley auction next week, but the entry threshold is extremely high. They only accept named premium invitations.
You sure the pink diamond is there?
We compared the photos. The cut matches. Notify the crew. Have the private jet ready. You still have 3 interstate transportation agreements to sign tomorrow morning. Push them all. Change the route. We're flying straight to Dallas. Yes, sir.
What's wrong?
Midlands and Dyson Granger loses 3 rounds and Twan Prittifop with that Marion Mayo and Peaky?
Mrs. Fallon, you beaten me 3 days. You really have to recruit me dumb badly?
When I set my sights on a top-tier asset, I'll drag it back to my territory if I have to.
I've never met a capitalist who sounded so much like a bandit.
Boss, we got the VIP invitation to the Dallas auction. Boss, are we heading back to Houston tonight, or?
Saying I'm a fan.
Oh, hell. Boss rerouted the plane overnight to get Madam that invitation, and now he catches her flirting with another man?
Boss, isn't that Madam?
I've already prepared a blank check. Say yes, and the budget is whatever you want it to be.
Miss Fallon, is this how you force people into signing their lives away?
That depends on whether you're willing to take the deal.
I'll have to think about it.
Patience isn't really my thing, Cole. You'd better give me an answer now. Cassian, don't you have a stack of port documents waiting for your signature? What are you doing out here in the sun?
Am I interrupting?
Mr. Cassian.
Not at all. Cole and I were just discussing the new project at the Southern Oil Field.
Is that right?
What the hell is wrong with you?
Did I ruin your seduction routine?
He's Midland's top drilling engineer. I just took over Richard's project. I need him to help me strike a major gusher so I can keep those old foxes on the board in line.
Is this how you usually recruit people?
What way?
By turning on the charm?
Should I take that as your roundabout way of saying I'm irresistible, Mr. Cassian? Thanks. I'm well aware my face and body are top steet. More than enough for a science guy.
Come with me. I have something to show you.
I'm not done with work. I have to close Cole today.
He's already gone.
Cassian, you scared off my cash cow. Dragging me off alone in broad daylight? Isn't this about collecting that non-cash payment you mentioned and getting a hotel room?
Fine. Today I'm going to teach you a lesson.
Cassian! Put me down! Are you insane?
Cassian! Shut up.
What the hell has gotten into this bastard?
Until I get those messy little tactics out of your head, you won't understand whose woman you are now. Open it.
It's my mom's diamond ring. You carried me back in the middle of the day just to show me this?
What you lost, I'll get back.
Nice work, hubby. I owe you one.
Now let's settle another account.
No unnecessary physical contact with members of the opposite sex?
What happened at the Midland Golf Course never happens again. Mrs. Caldwell, retire that recruitment habit of yours.
He thinks he can control me now? Like I'm some pretty bird in a cage? I have no problem with the agreement, but I don't do business at a loss.
What do you want?
Absolute equality. I'll sign only if every restriction in here applies to you too. The second you cross the line, this piece of paper is void.
Mutual restrictions. Fine.
Hubby. Forgot to mention, Mr. Cassian. My period started today.
You're playing me.
I'm going to bed. Good night, hubby.
Fallon, you're an absolute genius. In such a short time, Cassian actually approved the Southern Port concession for you?
Just the right amount of pillow talk. We both got what we wanted. It's not like he lost anything.
And your marriage to Cassian? Everyone in Texas is saying you stole Caroline's man. You're not actually planning to spend your life with him, are you?
My life? Don't be naive, Diane. Marriage is just a stepping stone for me. Once I swallow Rhodes' energy whole and throw Richard out, I'll divorce him. I've signed Cole. As long as this new well produces oil, Richard is finished for good.
Beautifully done. Cassian's first love, Vanessa, is back in Texas. She's definitely coming for you.
No wonder he insisted on marrying me. I'm just a shield to provoke his old flame. Fine by me. Once I take Rhodes' energy, I'll sign the divorce papers.
Who are you divorcing?
Hubby, what are you doing here?
I revised the terms. Sign it if you have no objections.
Fine. I'll read it on the flight back to Houston. Are you coming too?
Isn't that obvious? You owe me. You can pay me back. In Houston, drive.
Why are we here?
We're married. This is our home. Welcome home, Mrs. Caldwell.
You canceled the Houston trip just to drag me back to this manor, Mr. Cassian? That eager to settle our account?
Mrs. Caldwell keeps douging her debts. I should at least collect a little interest from your body first.
Your first love is checking in on you.
Answer it.
I don't exactly have a relationship with this old money princess. What am I supposed to say?
You were pretty articulate on the Maybath when you were talking to Diane.
Old fox. He heard everything in the car. What do you want me to say?
Anything you want.
So he really is using me to provoke his old floors. Fine. Since I took his port, I'll do him this favor.
Cassian, I just got back to Texas. I brought that red wine you like. Can I bring it over tomorrow?
No need to bring wine.
Who are you? Why do you have Cassiel's phone?
Can't be helped. His hands are very busy right now. He's unhooking my bra.
Who is this?
Caspian's wife. It's late. Don't call and ruin his performance. Well, was your petty little wife cooperative enough for you?
You certainly know how to take advantage of an opening.
Boss, Miss Vanessa is ill. She's been taken to the state hospital and she's insisting on seeing you.
Oh, your first love is in the hospital. Aren't you gonna see her, Mr. Cassian?
You want me gone that badly?
How would I dare? My new oil hold still needs your port. Of course, I should put in some effort now and keep you tied to my bed.
Go pour me a black coffee.
Mr. Cassian, you kept me up until 3 in the morning, and now you expect me to wait on you?
The Southern Port concession wasn't free.
I paid you back with interest on the couch last night. If you want coffee, pour it yourself.
All right, Mrs. Caldwell. I'll make breakfast.
These beans are roasted as burnt as Richard's brain.
Make do. It's my first time cooking. Since you've got this much energy, where are you headed this afternoon?
Rhodes Energy headquarters. A few logistics directors under Richard are still sitting on the fence. I'm going to give them a taste of capital.
Keep your afternoon schedule. But tonight at 8, come find me at Abyss Club.
You'll know when you get there. Dress nicely.
What for? I'm busy. If it's not business, I'm not interested in playing games with you.
Consider it an addendum to the port agreement. 8 o'clock. Don't be late.
A workaholic with nothing in her head but swallowing oil fields. She completely forgot we've been married for a week. I actually have to invite her to celebrate.
This is your attitude after taking over Southern Port Logistics? You disappeared for 3 whole days. Where the hell were you?
Where else could she have been, Dad? Throwing herself at Cassian again, obviously. She knows how to service men in bed, but what the hell did she know about business?
Caroline, with all that spying on me and Cassian, did you somehow miss the part where Cassian keeps me in bed every day?
Stop putting on a show. You really think climbing into Cassian's bed means your position is secure? Let me tell you, Vanessa is back in Texas. She was Cassian's first love. Trash like you is going to get kicked aside sooner or later.
Fallon! Are you insane? She's your sister!
Richard, spare me the loving father act. 10 years ago, when you let her drug me, where was all that sisterly concern?
You ungrateful animal!
Take your idiot daughter and get out of my office. If either of you sets foot on this floor again, I'll smash those old bones of yours too.
Dad, are we just gonna watch her throw her weight around? Without Cassian, she's nothing.
Shut your stupid mouth! She thinks becoming the second largest shareholder means she can climb over my head? I'll handle this myself and make that ungrateful beat lose everything.
Hello, I'm here to see Mr. Rhodes. Isn't that Fallon's little sidekick? Move. Good dogs don't block the way.
You bitch! Did you just insult me? I'll have security throw you out!
Shut up.
Miss Diane?
Caroline is spoiled. Please don't mind her. Go right in.
Richard, keep your daughter on a leash. This is the executive floor, not a psychiatric reign. Dad, why are you wasting words on her? Just call security.
Idiot! She's the heiress of a top Wall Street consortium. We can't afford to offend her now. Once I kick that little bitch Fallon out and take absolute control of the group back, I'll deal with her too.
Your dear father and sister out in the hall bad-mouthing you. The stray dog with its spine broken only has that much strength left.
Cassian didn't give you trouble over Southern Port, did he? He has plenty of tricks, but I can handle him. You, though, I've been busy fighting for the family oil field, and I dumped Apex Capital on you alone. Thank you.
Save it. Back when we were tearing up Wall Street, you weren't this polite. I dug into Vanessa. This legendary first love of Cassian's has had quite the colorful few years in Europe. Want to enjoy the show together? Vanessa, only daughter of an old money Texas family, arrogant as hell. Most importantly, she and Cassiel grew up together and were practically headed for marriage. Then she suddenly went to Europe, and everyone said she abandoned him. But Europe didn't exactly work out for her. Now she's suddenly back, which means she heard Cassian had a flash marriage and rushed home to take him back.
I don't care what she and Cassiel had back then. I only need Cassiel as my temporary partner. Once Rhodes' energy is mine, he can marry whoever he wants.
As long as you know what you're doing. By the way, Castle asked me to meet him at Abbas Club tonight. Want to come? A place that private and that expensive? This is obviously Cassian's exclusive date setup. Why would I third wheel that? Pass. Enjoy your date tonight.
Well, where did this wild rose come from? Wrong room, sweetheart? Come here and have a drink with us. Watch your mouth. Let me formally introduce her. Fallon, the woman I married last week.
What? Cassian, you're kidding, right?
Cassian, since when did your taste get this bad? You're bringing this kind of wild woman into your private room?
Cassian, your old taste was a chihuahua that starts yapping the second it walks in.
Shut up! Who the hell do you think you are? Were you the one who answered his phone last night?
That was me. What, the live broadcast over the phone wasn't enough last night? So tonight you came for a front row VIP seat?
Cassian! You're just gonna let this woman talk to me like that?
Watch your tone, Vanessa.
You're warning me over some wild woman from nowhere?
She's not some wild woman. She's my legally wedded wife.
I don't believe it. Cassian. Just to make me jealous, you married something like her? Tell her to get out right now!
You're the one who should leave.
What?
My wife is here. Your screaming bothers her. Try touching her again.
Cassian, are you insane? You're laying hands on me for this wild woman?
I told you. She's not a wild woman. She's my wife.
You can't marry her. We're the ones who belong together. You owe me this!
Don't let me see you acting out in front of my wife again.
Cassian, wait! Cassian! You are not getting rid of me! You'll never get away from me in this lifetime! Don't touch me.
Quite the temper. When she threw that drink at you, why didn't you throw one back? Where was that crazy streak you had when you smashed Richard with a bottle?
I'm just a tool. What right do I have to smash your precious first love?
What is that supposed to mean?
You pushed me into signing that marriage license because you wanted to make her jealous today, didn't you?
You looked into my background. Did you not look into my dating history? Vanessa grew up with me. That's all. There was nothing between us.
You don't need to explain anything to me, Mr. Cassian.
You think I'm just using you as a tool?
Aren't you? Vanessa just came back, and suddenly you arranged for me to meet her.
Fallon, if we're talking about using people, haven't you used me plenty to get the Rhodes oil trail?
You're right. We're just allies of convenience. But that doesn't mean I have to sit there and let your ex throw liquor on me. If there's a next time, I'm smashing the bottle in her face.
Good. Aim well. I'll cover the medical bills. We didn't get to drink earlier. Let's make up for it. To 1 week of marriage.
He dragged me to the club to celebrate our 1 week anniversary, not to provoke Vanessa? 1 glass of whiskey and that's it? Not very sincere, Mr. Cassian.
In that case, I'll show you exactly how sincere I can be.
Nice packaging. Let's see if the product performs.
You're about to find out exactly how well it performs.
Is this guy part dog? He bites so damn hard.
Who are you calling a dog?
You misheard, Mr. Cassian. I was cursing those idiots on Wall Street who don't know how to short. But I'm very busy today. I still have to go to Rhodes Energy and clean up the mess Richard left behind. Excuse me, partner.
Mr. Cassian, forgive the intrusion. I simply can't bear to watch you be deceived. You don't know Fallon. She's been selfish and cold-blooded since she was a child. She'll do anything to get what she wants. She doesn't love you at all. Once she gets Rhodes Energy, she'll kick you aside without a second thought.
What makes you so sure she went to all this trouble just to steal a broken oilfield and not try anything? And not because she happened to want me too?
Once she gets Rhodes Energy, she'll kick you aside without a second thought.
What makes you sure she went to all this trouble just to steal a broken oil field and not because she happened to want me to? That's impossible. Mr. Cassiel, you still don't know, do you? She already has someone else in her heart. From beginning to end, she's only been using you.
Richard, worry about your own lousy business.
Cassian.
Fallon is my wife now. If I find out you've been going after her behind her back, I'll make sure you don't even qualify for bankruptcy liquidation.
Mr. Cole, thank you for choosing to trust me. I'm tennissery, suffling rooms in the end, and signing with me.
No need to thank you, Miss Fallon. To be honest, I didn't sign because of you. I signed because...
Because of whom?
Looks like she has no idea how many obstacles Cation cleared for her behind the scenes. Since Cassian wants to keep it from her, I'd better keep my mouth shut.
Nothing. Anyway, here's to a good partnership.
Here's to a good partnership. Next, it's time to go clean house.
Mr. Richard, ever since Miss Fallon took over the core shipping project, she's been missing for days. Now she can't even find a drilling engineer. The project can't move forward at all.
Fallon is still too young. She has a few shares in her hand and suddenly stops caring about the company's interests.
I said from the beginning, what does a finance woman know about drilling? I propose we immediately strip Fallon of control over the shipping project.
Since everyone is in agreement, for the sake of Rhodes Energy, I have no choice but to reluctantly...
Is that Cole, the genius drilling engineer from the independent exploration world?
I heard he holds 3 deep-water drilling patents, but doesn't he refuse to work for corporations?
Fallon, how did you get him here?
Richard, that's none of your business. Let me introduce everyone. Mr. Cole is now the Chief Technology Officer for Rhodes Southern Oilfield. He's also the explanation I brought back for my so-called disappearance these past few days.
Let me make one thing clear. After I take over, the technical department's coordination with Southern Port reports only to Miss Fallon. Everyone else can keep their hands out of it.
Let's go, Cole. I'll show you your new territory.
Damn it. Now she not only has Cassian backing her, she's locked down Cole, that technical maniac. Once the new well starts producing, we'll be thrown out of Rhodes Energy for good.
Fallon is only acting so high and mighty because she has Cassiel. What if Cassiel dumps her? Vanessa is back in Texas. When she found out Cassiel got married, she was practically insane with jealousy. The enemy of our enemy is our friend. Why not use her against Fallon?
That's right. Vanessa is no pushover. Old money families know how to make people suffer. Fallon won't know what hit her.
Vanessa, do you want to get Cassian back?
Vanessa, Fallon doesn't like Cassian at all. She only wants to use him to get the Rhodes family oil field.
We want to protect the oil field, and you want Cassiel. We can work together and kick Fallon out of Texas.
Work together how?
I have a fatal piece of dirt on Fallon.
What kind of dirt?
10 years ago, she got high and slept around. There's even a high-definition sex tape. That's why my dad threw her out of the house back then.
You drove your own daughter out with a sex tape? The Rhodes family really is disgusting in the lowest possible way.
It worked, didn't it? After that happened, her boyfriend of many years, Alex, dumped her too. Cassian would never tolerate a woman like that.
Alex? Isn't that Cassiel's brother-in-law? Fallon dated Cassiel's brother-in-law?
As long as you tell Cassian, he'll throw her away like garbage.
Caroline, you want to play the innocent little flower in front of Cassiel, but you also want to take Fallon down, so you're using me as your weapon?
I'm helping you.
Keep your trashy little tricks for your own family. Use me, you're not qualified. If Vanessa won't do it, I'll do it myself.
Have you lost your mind?
Then we'll all go down together. Even if I can't marry into Cassian's family, I will never let Fallon get what she wants. The exploration report is excellent. What do you want for dinner tonight? My treat. Consider it an early celebration of our first win.
When the boss offers, I'd be rude to say no.
Cassian? What are you doing here? What are you doing?
Let go! You're hurting me!
Get in the car with me.
Cole! Dinner another day! I have to handle some sudden business first!
What the hell is wrong with you? You almost broke my wrist. Something's off with him today. He looks like he wants to devour someone. Tell the driver to pull over. I still have work.
Your work is sneaking around behind my back to have dinner with another man?
Mr. Cassian, Cole can help me take down the southern oil field. If you scare him off, who's going to compensate me?
You looked very happy smiling at him just now.
Basic workplace social etiquette. What? A Port Trukian like you gets jealous over that too?
I don't like my legal wife putting her attention on other men.
Don't forget, this is a contract marriage. Isn't your possessiveness crossing the line?
Crossing the line? I don't mind doing something even worse.
You need to come to the family dinner at the manor tonight, Cassian. Those old men in the family are all waiting for your approval on the budget.
I'll be there. Also, I'm married. I'm bringing her tonight.
Family dinner? I'm not going. I don't have time to play boring old money drama games with those people.
Families like that are battlefields. Who knows how many traps are waiting for me?
Since you've become my woman, you need to get used to sitting in the middle of everyone.
Your family is waiting for you to make decisions. How do you still have the mind to get turned on in the car?
I kissed my own legal wife. And you call that getting turned on?
It's just a contract marriage.
Do you really have to drag me to your family dinner and use me as a live target?
You can take Richard apart without blinking. You're scared of this kind of scene?
What are you staring at? Afraid I'll embarrass the Rhodes family?
The first night in the hotel suite when you forced me to sign, you were dressed like this too.
What, feeling nostalgic? Want to relive that night?
Tonight, we very well can.
Cassian! You're finally here. Grandpa's been waiting inside for ages. Looks like tonight I don't just have to handle those old men inside. I also get to be the catalyst for these two to stir up old feelings. I never imagined an exiled bankrupt heiress would be qualified to step through the doors of this manor. I never imagined old money standards had fallen so low that even a debutante has to come out and work the door. Don't get too cocky.
Move. Grandpa.
So you're Fallon. Any woman Cassian brings in here is bound to catch the eye.
You're too kind, Mr. Harrison.
You. Come with me to the study. The old men on the board need a straight answer from you on the customs inspection exemption.
Wait here. Don't start trouble.
That depends on whether trouble starts with me. Caroline told me everything. You forced Cassian into marriage.
only to use him and take back the Rhodes Energy oil field. You write the condition. You want to destroy Richard completely. I can help you. What's the condition? Find a time to sign the divorce papers with Cassian. Money, revenge, I can give you all of it. But him, you don't deserve him. What are you laughing at? You guys the same in fashion? You stopped me for some high school jealousy routine? Stop pretending. Caroline told me. You don't like Cassiel at all. You're still hung up on Alex, the man who dumped you 10 years ago, aren't you? You did some homework. Too bad your information is 10 years out of date. These days, Cassiel and I are highly compatible in bed. You shameless slut! Ah! I'm not Cassian. I don't indulge your habit of putting your hands on people. Try me again, and I'll ruin this hand. Cassian, you're just gonna watch her treat me like this?
Didn't you hear what Mrs. Caldwell just said? Leave.
Enjoy the show?
Not enough. What exactly did you say about how compatible we are in bed?
Does this man have radar for ears? I said it to piss her off. Don't flatter yourself.
Quite the temper. If you used that same energy in bed, you wouldn't bite the pillow and beg me to slow down every time.
Shut up.
Cassian, I've been looking everywhere for you. So you were hiding here with your new wife.
Cassian, aren't you going to introduce us?
Fallon? 10 years gone and she's become Mrs. Caldwell?
So you're Fallon, Cassian's wife. I'm Sylvia, Cassian's sister. Yes, this is my husband, Alex. A pleasure, Alex. 10 years. I figured this bastard died face down in some gutter a long time ago. And here he is, crawling his way into the Caldwell family.
Mrs. Caldwell? Have we met before? You look like someone I used to know.
Save your tired pickup langs. Someone with her street-level background, how would you possibly know her?
Fair point. I had my wild days in my youth. Hard to keep track of every face.
Cassiel, I feel nauseous. Something in the air here. I think I'm going to be sick.
I'm taking you back.
I can't understand what spell Cassian's under. Some gold digger reeking of poverty. Once the novelty wears out, she'll be thrown out soon enough, don't you think?
Perhaps.
When does this godforsaken dinner end?
Still feeling sick? We're leaving. Now.
You haven't said hello to the rest of your relatives yet.
Who are they that you should force yourself to endure? Let's go.
Cassian, there's an issue with the Houston port scheduling. A word in private.
Not now.
Go. Business first. I'll get some air here.
Stay right here. 2 minutes. Fallon.
You'll address me as Mrs. Caldwell.
Are you still angry I broke up with you 10 years ago? I had my reasons. After you signed away all your oil fields and became penniless overnight, I had to think about my future. You think I wanted to let you go?
Dressing up greed as noble sacrifice. You really haven't changed a bit.
I was in pain too. You married Cassian just to spite me, didn't you?
Hands off.
Fallon, just listen to me.
Drop the lovesick act. You're nothing but a dog who married into the Caldwell family. And I am the mistress of this family. Take one more step, and I'll have you erased from the Caldwell name entirely.
Fallon! Back then I really had no choice!
No choice? More like you couldn't wait to be an old mud family's dog. Disgusting!
Get away from me! Don't touch me with your filthy hands!
Alex, touch my wife again and I'll break that hand. Caspian, don't misunderstand. I'm gonna find Sylvia now. From now on, stay away from trash like that.
Which eye of yours saw me wanting anything to do with him? Cassian, that jealous, possessive thing you just did? Very sexy.
Get in the car with me.
I haven't greeted your relatives yet.
Socializing is over for tonight. Now it's time for me to exercise my rights as a husband.
Sir, Mr. Cassian says Madam isn't feeling well, so he's taken her home first.
We haven't finished discussing the port. Ridiculous.
It's all for show. Cassian, I refuse to believe a wild woman like that can truly trap you.
Does it still hurt?
This little red mark? The bite marks you leave on me are much deeper.
You really haven't learned your lesson.
Then show me how Mr. Calden plans to teach me. Cassian, your favoritism is tempting, but I can never let you know Alex is my ex.
You're distracted.
Alex used to be your boyfriend, and now he's Cassian's brother-in-law. That's messy as hell. How are you planning to avoid him? Why would I avoid him? Don't tell me you still have feelings for that spineless opportunist. The moment he saw me sign away the oil field and turned around to lick the soles of an old money family's shoes, whatever I felt for that waste of space died 10 years ago. 18 years old, drugged by your own father, forced into exile, anyone else would have gone insane. Exactly. So how could I let them live in peace? Alex is nothing. My target has always been Richard and his family. I'm gonna make them taste what it feels like to be driven mad, to lose everything, and to have no way out. Alex is a money-grubbing parasite. Now that you're Mrs. Caldwell, he won't let you go easily. Then let him come.
Fallon, it's me. Cassian was acting like a maniac last night, and I didn't get to talk to you properly. Meet me.
Fine. I'm at the cafe across from Rhodes Tower. You have 10 minutes. You're really meeting him? Want me to call security for you? No. Go back. I can handle this trash by myself.
Your stomach is sensitive. Why are you drinking iced coffee?
Move your hand 1 more inch and I'll smash this coffee in your face.
Fallon, you never used to talk to me like this. I already heard. You don't love Cassian at all. You're only using him against Richard.
So what? Cassian has power and money. What do you have? Other than living off Sylvia, what else can you do now? Fallon. Sneaking around with your ex behind Caspian's back? Let's see if Caspian skins you alive this time. Fallon, I can't wait to watch Cassian throw you out.
Fallon, don't get too arrogant. You really think Cassian will let you stay Mrs. Caldwell? He's only using you to provoke Vanessa.
Whether I get to stay Mrs. Caldwell or not, I'm still better off than a Caldwell family dog like you. Remember how he slapped your hand away at the dinner last night?
Fallon, do you really know him? Do you know all the ugly things in his past?
He's worth hundreds of billions. A few women in his past hardly count as a scandal.
I heard Sylvia mention that something serious happened to Cassian 10 years ago. He was drugged and slept with someone while he wasn't in his right mind. That's why Vanessa flew off to Europe in a rage.
10 years ago? Drugged? Why is that the same as me? Can the world really be that coincident? Who in this circle hasn't been set up? So what?
I just don't want to watch you jump into a fire pit.
If you're so afraid I'll jump into a fire pit, then stay away from me. Don't let Cassian know we used to know each other.
You're afraid he'll find out we dated? We never even slept together. What are you guilty about now?
You don't know a damn thing. Cassian's possessiveness is like a dog with a bone. If he finds out my ex is his brother-in-law, he'll absolutely lose control. Then how am I supposed to carry out my plan and take revenge on Richard's family? In short, keep your mouth shut. If Cassian hears even a whisper, I'll personally ruin you and make sure there's no place for you in Texas.
Fallon, I'm only worried about you. Cassian is a heartless monster. Sooner or later, he'll devour you down to the bone.
Save it. Keep that fake devoted face for Sylvia.
If it weren't for that damn night 10 years ago, you would have been mine long ago. Fallon, I will not give you to him.
The state of New York is offering some pretty sweet tax credits to keep businesses in the city. Wow. Looks like Mrs. Caldwell has a packed schedule. Married for only a few days and already out having coffee with another man?
Isn't that Alex? Your sister Sylvia's husband?
Get the car. We're picking up my wife.
The whole room smells like cigars. Cassian, are you waiting for me or interrogating me?
Where were you this afternoon?
That look is wrong. He definitely heard something. I can't let him know I went to see Alex, or this madman will flip the table. Rhodes oil field. I went over details with Cole's technical team for 2 hours.
Is that so?
What, are you checking my schedule now?
Sit first.
I lied to you just now.
About what?
I didn't go to the oil field. I met someone this afternoon and talked about some ugly old history.
An ex? Or your first love?
Neither.
Then what? Then let me ask another way. What did this old acquaintance talk to you about?
About how 10 years ago I was thrown out like a stray dog. 10 years ago, on the night of my 18th birthday, Richard and Evelyn put hallucinatics in my drink. When I woke up, there was a stranger beside me, drugged too. A high-definition camera recorded everything.
She was drugged 10 years ago too? Can there really be such a coincidence?
Richard used the drug test report to threaten me. Either sign away my mother's oil field and get out of the country or be locked in a psychiatric hospital for the rest of my life. I had no choice but to give in. That same day, the boyfriend I'd been with for years broke up with me. The person I saw today was that piece of trash.
Why didn't he stand by you?
A spinless man who was counting on my family's money to climb into high society. Once he saw I had nothing, of course he ran faster than a dog.
I can use my power and make them disappear tonight.
Don't steal my prey. Some people only feel satisfying when you destroy them yourself. Besides, tonight, I don't want to waste time on murder. Cassian, the best way I fight trauma is by covering it with another kind of intense physical activity. Or are you unwilling to put in the effort?
You asked for it.
I have to fly to Midland first thing tomorrow morning and finalize Cole's equipment contract.
Don't push yourself too hard.
Rhodes oil field isn't going to walk into my pocket by itself. I'm taking a shower. Don't follow me in.
Matthew, look into the night of Fally's 18th birthday 10 years ago. Every route she took. Pull the surveillance records.
Sir, why are you suddenly looking into that?
I suspect the woman who spent that night with me 10 years ago was Fallon.
How is that possible? I'll get on it right away.
You're not going out today?
Matthew's coming by in a bit. He has a private matter to report.
Fine. You two handle that. Once I secure the contract, I'll come back and thank you properly.
I'll see you out.
Sir, we confirmed it.
That night 10 years ago, after Madam was drugged, the abandoned warehouse she went into was exactly where you were hiding after you'd been drugged. Mr. Cassian, the woman from back then, really was Fallon.
How much longer for the oil field exploration data analysis?
Do capitalists not sleep? I haven't even swallowed lunch.
Time is money. Once the well produces, you'll have plenty of time to sleep.
1 month at the fastest.
Half a month.
Are you insane? That's thousands of sets of geological data.
I've already had Cassian arrange customs exemption at the port. The equipment arrives this afternoon. Eat fast. After this job, your bonus will be enough to buy a yacht in Hawaii.
You're ruthless. Deal.
So dedicated. Seduced your old flame last night, and now you're fishing for technicians today.
Miss Caroline, we're discussing work. Show some respect.
Work you do by spreading your legs? You're nothing but a slut who sleeps her way up. Say that again. I said you're a cheap little...
You little bitch! Are you insane? You little slut. You dare touch my daughter? I'll tear your face apart.
Such a temper. Cooling you down. No need to thank me.
Dared throw coffee on my mom!
The floor is this wide and you still had to slip. What's the rush, trying to kiss it?
Can't believe that.
You lunatic! Where is security? Throw her out!
Throw me out? Richard, the southern transportation port is under my control now. Touch me, and I'll shut down every shipping line in the south.
You really think having Cassian backing you means you can walk all over me?
Richard, I warned you on the phone. Bully her, and I'll cripple you.
What are you doing here?
Fallon, you shameless bitch! All you know how to do is hide in a man's arms and act slutty!
If the water in your brain hasn't fully drained yet, I don't mind brewing another pot of scalding black coffee for you.
Richard, was I not clear enough?
Mr. Cassian, you've misunderstood. Fallon was the one making trouble at the company and using violence in public. I was only disciplining her.
Cassian, don't let her fool you. She was bullying me.
Let me interrupt. Fallon and I were discussing work just now when Miss Caroline came over and insisted we were having an affair. With a mouth that filthy, no wonder it needed washing. Richard, fire this idiot who's embarrassing the company. Security, clear her out.
Let go of me! Dad, say something!
Cassian, Caroline is still the project director. Isn't firing her outright a bit much? I'm your largest source of funding, and my wife is the second largest shareholder in this building. Darling, do you agree to have her thrown out of your building? Darling, have you decided?
Rhodes Energy doesn't keep dead weight. Security, escort this former director out.
You wouldn't dare! Dad, say something!
Shut up! Haven't you embarrassed us enough? Go home! Caroline is gone now. Cassian, regarding the Southern project, I hope you'll reconsider working with us.
You should ask my wife. She calls the shots on the Southern project. I only negotiate with the person in charge. Let's go, Madam Project Lead, to your office. We'll discuss cooperation.
Did you see that? Richard was so scared he didn't dare make a sound. He just watched Caroline get thrown out by security.
What backbone does he have left? Fallon controls Southern Port and has top-tier capital backing her. I think this company is about to get a new boss.
About time. All Richard has done for years is treat the company like his ATM. What does he know about energy? If we follow Fallon, we might actually see year-end bonuses.
still hear you.
Fallon, you think getting Cassian means you can swallow my oil field? Dream on. 10 years ago, I should have doubled the dose and sent you straight to hell that very day.
Those guards at the door are useless if someone like you can just walk in.
Richard is cornered now. No one knows what he'll do when he gets desperate. Stay at the manor for the next few days.
Are you worried about me?
Why would I need to be? You're not exactly short on men.
You look so tense. Don't tell me you're jealous and afraid Cole will steal me away, hubby.
Finally calling me husband again?
If hubby likes it, I can call you that through a megaphone at the board meeting. Not here. Tonight I'm going to Dallas with you. The pink diamond ring Richard sold off is being auctioned tonight.
Tonight, I'll make you pay this back.
Mr. Cassian, I didn't expect to see you here. And who is this unfamiliar young lady?
My wife.
Wife? You're married?
Yes, my legal wife.
Has he lost his mind? We're only in a contract marriage, and he's announcing it to the whole circle?
Congratulations. When are you holding a proper wedding? We're all waiting for our invitations.
Mr. Smith, actually, we're only...
Soon.
Is this man addicted to acting?
Then you'd better choose an auspicious date. Please, both of you, take your seats.
You're very committed to the role, Mr. Cassian. Even promising a wedding? Aren't you afraid the old men in the Caldwell family will come after you?
No one in the Caldwell family dares say a word about whom I marry. What kind of wedding do you want?
Is he serious? What if I want Richard's head hanging at the wedding entrance?
Fine. You decide the wedding details. I'll handle execution.
Distinguished guests, welcome to Dallas's premier auction. Tonight's first lot is a rare pink diamond ring from the Rhodes family.
That old bastard Richard really dared to sell off my mother's keepsake.
No need to touch your books. Tonight, it belongs only to you. Bid whatever you want.
The opening bid for this pink diamond ring is $10 million.
30 million.
The opening bid was 10 million and Vanessa jumped straight to 30? She's an old money heiress. This is about Caspian. But isn't the woman sitting next to Caspian his wife? That's what makes it interesting. Vanessa snatching the lot in public is obviously a slap in Fallon's face. Just watch.
30 million. Miss Vanessa bids 30 million. Any higher?
40 million. 50 million. Cassian, this pink diamond happens to match my dress tonight. You won't mind if I win it, will you? Your old flame is quite generous. Using her daddy's money to steal my mother's keepsake right in front of me?
I told you, no one can take what's yours. $100 million.
Cassian! Are you insane? That ring isn't worth that! Are you insane? Spending $100 million on this?
Buying something for my wife? This is pocket chain. Anyone else bidding?
$100 million. Going once, going twice. Sold!
What are you doing? Get up.
Wear it. Let all of Texas know you're Mrs. Caldwell.
Thanks, husband. Cassian, you spent $100 million fighting me over that stupid ring just to humiliate me in public?
If you couldn't keep up past 50 million, why blame someone else for bidding?
You know I came back for throwing yourself at a married man? Vanessa, is that all you've got? This ring and this man are both my private property now. Husband, the air here is sour. Let's go back to the hotel.
All right.
Fallon, Cassian, you dare humiliate me like this? I'll make sure you both lose everything.
$100 million for one ring. That math doesn't make you look much like a capital titan.
What? Worried about my money?
I'm just curious. You dropped $100 million without blinking. What are you after?
Cassian, don't tell me you've actually fallen for me.
Haven't I made it obvious enough?
Don't joke around.
You don't believe me?
Believing men brings a lifetime of bad luck. My mother believed Richard's sweet talk. Lost the oil fields, and eventually her life. Love makes people stupid. I won't make the same mistake.
Go shower. Want me to carry you?
Carrying me in is nothing special. How about you wash me?
To save water, we'll shower together.
Damn it. Shouldn't have touched alcohol last night. I actually asked Cassian if he had real feelings.
Drink the water.
My arms are sore. Can't hold it.
Anywhere else uncomfortable?
It's all your fault. My legs are still weak and I'm starving.
Go change. I'll take you to eat.
Okay, hubby.
He's this calm. Clearly last night meant nothing to him. Good. Cassian, you can only be my blade, never my weakness.
Cassian, what a coincidence. Alex, alone? Sylvia went to meet a client. Just closed an order.
Like a ghost that won't leave. I warned this waste yesterday, and today he comes crawling up to die.
Since you're alone, sit with us.
Fallon, I remember you used to love the beef Wellington here. Want to try it?
Husband, you order for me. I'm tired of Texas menus. I want something different.
All right, my wife is picky. If I don't order something she likes, she'll give me hell tonight.
Cassiel, you two are moving fast. And your main course?
Stay away from cold raw food. You're preparing for pregnancy.
You're trying for a baby? Trying for a baby? You two are serious?
Naturally, the Caldwell family heir should be planned early.
This man really dares to say anything. Who said I'm giving him a child? Husband, you scared Alex. If Sylvia finds out he's out here asking about another woman's stomach, she'll be jealous.
He's married too. He'll experience it sooner or later.
Let's go. I still have to take you to the hospital for a checkup this afternoon.
Sylvia's husband sitting here staring at his brother-in-law's woman. Not a pretty picture.
Vanessa, if you came to laugh, you picked the wrong table.
Stop pretending. That greedy little look is written all over your face. The woman you looked down of back then is now the second largest shareholder of Rhodes Energy and married to a man 100 times better than you. Must sting.
Shut up! This is none of your business.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Why don't we work together and bring the people we love back to our sides? Are we working together or not?
Don't dream. I will never help you destroy the woman I love, and you shouldn't target Fallon either.
You think I want to target her? It's only because Cassiel, that madman, actually treats that wild rose like a treasure.
He took advantage of her vulnerability. Cassian doesn't deserve her.
Stop acting like some devoted lover. You're hung up on Fally only because she has money and power now. Just like back then when you begged to marry Sylvia like a dog for the Caldwell family's fun.
Shut up!
If I tell Sylvia her dear husband is obsessing with his ex, do you think you'll be thrown out?
Sylvia loves me. She won't believe your crazy talk.
Don't be naive. You think she's some gentle wife and mother? 10 years ago, during the Caldwell family's internal power struggle, the crazy woman who drugged Cassiel was her.
If she finds out your heart is elsewhere, she'll chew you up until there isn't a bone left.
If you won't let me live well, we can all go down together. I'll be waiting for the show.
You've looked off ever since we got back from the restaurant. Who are you thinking about?
Who could I be thinking about? Obviously, I'm thinking about the trip back to Houston.
You love work that much? I'm curious. When you were sent abroad, you had nothing but a plane ticket in your pocket. How did you build a capital giant like Apex in 10 years?
How could I compare to you? When I left, you were still the Caldwell family's written-off screw-up. And now? Those elders who look down on you act like they've seen a ghost whenever they see you.
Not at all. I've always been very respectful to the old folks.
Respectful enough to make them take their pensions and roll out of the board one by one?
Of course.
To show them even more respect, I've decided to hold the wedding of the century in Houston. They can watch with their own eyes as I take over all power.
Are you insane? We're only bound by a contract. Are you really buying into your own act?
When we get to Houston, I'll book the largest manor and officially announce to the entire Southern business circle that you, Fallon, are my rightful wife.
Who the hell wants that kind of public announcement? We're partners. Does this man not understand plain language? And so they have to mind a nod of wave that's gonna 2M? I think maybe we shouldn't... We just landed, and I'm being shoved into a wedding dress. What is wrong with Cassian? Who is he putting on this production for? Wall Street stocks don't fall as fast as you two move. Be honest, has Cassian actually fallen for you? Actually fallen for me? That's a fairy tale for high schoolers. He's just using me to establish dominance over those old men in his family. Consider it the price of me blackmailing him into marriage. Let him put on whatever show he wants. All I need is his port access. Once I get Rhodes' energy back, this marriage can end anytime.
End anytime?
I'll go keep an eye on security up front.
The dress is beautiful.
It's just acting. Did you really need to invite all of Houston's business circle? You're overplaying this.
The Southern business circle needs to know what the future lady of the Caldwell family looks like.
What are you doing? The place is full of reporters and guests. Don't lose your mind in here.
The head of the Caldwell family has very simple, very blunt taste.
It would look vulgar on anyone else. On you, it's perfect. It's just acting.
Was this huge production necessary? Half the Southern capital circle is outside.
That's exactly the effect I want. Let's go, my legal wife.
Everyone allow me to formally introduce Fallon Rhodes, my legal wife and the lady of the Caldwell family.
Wasn't Cassian's arranged marriage prom fix supposed to be Caroline?
You're behind on the news. The woman State Tage is a major shareholder of Rhodes Energy. Caroline can't even get through headquarters front door now.
Fallon, you bitch! You stole my place! I should be the one standing there being admired by everyone!
Fallon, you think marrying Cassian means you've won? I will never let you have it easy.
Mr. Cassian, Mrs. Caldwell, the future logistics lifeline of Southern Port rests in your hands.
As for the port, my wife calls the shots from now on.
May it be as you say.
Fallon, a word.
I'm going to get some air. I'll leave this to you, husband.
Don't go far.
I know.
That kiss wasn't part of the script. You got into character so fast, even Oscar winners would be ashamed.
What are you trying to say? That I've fallen for him? I actually hope the fake becomes real. As long as I get back the controlling stake in Rhodes Energy, I don't mind a few more love scenes.
Why? That slut who slept her way up, why does she get my place? Cassian is mine!
good is throwing a fit here?
I can't swallow this. I'm going to kill Fallon.
Killing her is too easy. Just release that video from 10 years ago. Her high on hallucinatics acting like a slut, and Cassie will throw her out for sure. Where's the video we filmed after drugging her back then? Once we release it, the Caldwell family will never tolerate her.
Dad has the HD originals locked in his safe. He won't even let me touch them.
When we get back tonight, I'll make him hand over the video. This time, I'm going to make Fallon rot in the mud for good.
That mother and daughter are insane in the most nauseating way. I care about the second half. 10 years ago, they didn't just drug you. They kept HD footage? What else? How do you think Richard forced me to sign away the oil field? That thing is too dangerous in Richard's hands. Should we talk to him? Or have Cassian pressure him directly? Have Cassian go? Richard is dreaming of throwing that video in Cassian's face right now.
Then what are you planning to do? You can't just sit and wait.
Once that video gets out, your reputation is finished. Reputation? In Texas capital circles, whoever has money has a reputation. That's not what I care about.
That night 10 years ago, Richard originally arranged for some old man. But the one who entered the abandoned warehouse was a stranger who had also been drugged. We became each other's antidote.
What? Do you want Cassiel to find out who he was? Why would I look for him? To rip open that disgusting wound again? No need. Right now, I only want to send Richard's family straight to hell.
Cassian is a crucial part of my plan. I can't let them ruin him.
What were you and Diane talking about? You even dared hang up on me.
How to scheme against people. I didn't hear the phone.
A scheme against people? Surely not against me.
How could I? Trying to out-scheme you, Cassian, would be punching way above my weight.
Good. As long as you know.
Fally, remember this. No matter whom you scheme against, you will never escape my grasp in this life.
The wedding is set for next week. The Paris couture gowns arrive by air tomorrow.
That fast? You didn't even ask. Why do I feel like you dragged me onto a pirate ship?
Once you're on my ship, you don't get off.
As long as you don't get in my way while I tear Richard apart.
You go on a killing spree at Rhodes Energy? I'll handle the trivial details. Also, I prepared a big gift for you.
Isn't it already on my hand?
Your mother's historic manor. Richard occupied it for 10 years. I brought in the best legal team and have fatal money laundering evidence against him. Today, he'll sit at your desk and hand over the manor and the deed. Cleanly.
This day finally came.
Go take back everything that belongs to you.
Fallon! You had lawyers seize the historic manor? I'm not even dead yet, and you dare grab for it?
I'm simply returning it to its rightful owner. Take a look at this eviction order. Within 3 days, take your parasite wife and daughter and get out of my mother's house.
In your dreams!
After you empty it out, remember to disinfect everything. Too many dirty things have been living there. Also, hand over the core oil field drilling rights you embezzled while you're
If I hadn't taken over back then, that oil field would be finished. It's mine.
Then I'll see you in court. I told you, I'm taking it all back with interest.
You bitch! You're only acting like this because Cassian is backing you. Without him, what are you?
Jealous? Why don't you find a rich, powerful man and marry him too?
I'll kill you.
Reach for me again, and I'll chop off your claw.
Whore. You really think climbing into Cassian's bed and cutting off my crude oil means you can stand over me?
The manor deed has been transferred. Get out in 3 days. I'll settle the rotten account of you stealing my mother's drilling rights next.
Let go!
When you drugged me 10 years ago and forced me to sign the transfer papers under threat of a psychiatric hospital, you should have known this day would come. Now I'll make you spit it all out, flesh and bone. Touch me again, and I'll cut off this hand.
Get out. Dad! What happened to your hand?
Fallon did this?
The manor is gone. The shipping line is cut off, and next she'll take the Rhodes oil field.
We can't let her leave Texas alive!
Cassian is protecting her now. Even security won't listen to us. Dad, don't you still have that trump card in your safe?
You mean...
The original HD footage from the abandoned warehouse 10 years ago exposed the video of her drugged, lusting, and fooling around with some random man. The Caldwell family will never tolerate a slut. I hear they're holding the wedding of the century soon. Once all the Southern Tycoons are there, we put it on the big screen, and Cassia will definitely kick her out.
Good. She pushed me to the edge, then we all die together.
Too bad we only got the little bitch taking off her clothes. We didn't capture the man's face clearly. Close-ups of Fallon drugged and desperate are enough. On the wedding day, I'm going to make her rot completely.
Everything handled?
The manor is back.
Good. The Paris couture wedding gowns have arrived. Try them on at the manor tonight.
Who gave you permission to hold a wedding? Cassiel, you can't marry her! You're forcing me to die! Fallon only used tricks to force you into marriage. I know it, Ted!
While I still have patience, go back to your family and stop being an eyesore.
Fine. Since you're willing to drive me to a dead end for this bitch! Divorce her right now. If you don't agree, I'll cut myself open and die right in front of you!
Are you done?
Out of respect for our family's old ties, I tolerated you until now. That ends here.
You can't do this to me. I'm only trying to make you see her true face.
Notify the port. Cut off all logistics support to her family. Put her on a flight to Europe and never to set foot in Texas again.
You're insane. She's a cold-blooded capitalist. She has no feelings for you. She's only using you for the Rhodes oil field. Does she dare say she loves you?
Who says I'm only using him?
I love him. Madly. So much I want to swallow him whole, skin and bones. Do you understand now? You're lying! Your marriage will fall apart sooner or later!
Drag her out.
Look me in the eye and tell me how much of what you just said was true.
What do you think? I couldn't exactly embarrass my future husband in front of outsiders, could I?
I'm moving the wedding schedule up. This weekend, I want the entire Texas Capital Circle to watch you put on my ring.
In that much of a hurry? I still haven't fully taken back Richard's oil field shares.
That's your business. Marrying you is mine.
Fine. If tomorrow's wedding sees blood, don't blame me. From security specs to the media list, Cassian had this prepared half a month early. He can't wait to declare ownership to the world. Just a man's territorial instinct. I'll treat it as free PR.
Problem. Richard's car just stopped outside. He brought media and lawyers from everywhere and announced that, as your biological father, he's going to walk you down the aisle.
He wants to use the aisle to force a public father-daughter reconciliation, so a director about to be kicked out of power can tie himself to the Caldwell family? Old bastard. Pretty fantasy.
Don't-eyed Squetchen. The media outside are waiting to take family photos. Walk down the aisle on Dad's arm, and we'll put the past behind us.
Richard, did you rent that outfit? It smells moldy.
Do you have to take this so far? I'm your father. I'm the only one who can walk you down that aisle.
The only people allowed to touch this wedding grass are Cassius and the cleaning staff. What are you? Stop acting like a loving father. It's nauseating.
Fallon, it's time.
Let's go.
Ungrateful bastard! You won't leave me even a shred of dignity!
Daddy, why get angry over a bitch? She just wants to make our whole family look bad. She won't be smug for long. The HD original from 10 years ago in the safe disconnected to the main screen signal, right?
Of course. The moment Cassian kisses her, the feed will switch automatically. She loves being the center of attention, doesn't she? Today, I'm going to let everyone see with their own eyes how she fooled around with a random man.
I want to watch her lose everything.
Mr. Cassian, do you take Miss Fallon to be your wife to remain faithful for life?
I do.
Miss Fallon, do you take Mr. Cassian to be your husband for better or worse?
I do.
I now pronounce you husband and wife. Groom, you may kiss the bride.
Now you are completely mine.
Stop! Cassian, you've been deceived by this bastard full of lies!
Cassian, you really think she's some pure, decent woman? She's a heavy addict who abuses hallucinatics and has a filthy private life.
Is today's Winnie for Mince High and Summerlos that even lauded you can this missilids?
Byline act! Senyagen, you see, was in an abandoned warehouse on drugs on front, que was random man and gente mabouching grown dominants!
Remove them.
Every business elect in Texas is here! Today I'm gonna show everyone exactly what kind of woman you married, Cassian!
My God, is that the bride on the screen? Scandal of the century. The Caldwell family married a drug addict?
Everyone! My eldest daughter was using hallucinators and fooling around with some random man 10 years ago. That's trash like this doesn't deserve the Caldwell family.
The second she came back, she stole the Rhodes family oil and drive a snake!
Look at her true face. She stole my fiancé. She's a whore any man can have.
Richard, I thought you were about to show some HD masterpiece. This image quality? Did you film it on that broken flip phone of yours?
You're still talking tough at death's note! Cassian, why are you still keeping this crazy woman?
Pin him down.
Cassian, are you insane? The video of her drugged and sleeping with someone else is right in front of you and you still want her?
Sleeping with someone else? You mean me and my own wife?
You're saying the man in the video is you?
Impossible! The wild man that night wasn't even clearly filmed. What did Fallon give you that makes you willing to ruin your own reputation, to cover her shame?
10 years ago, during the Caldwell family's internal power struggle, someone drugged me with hallucinorics. By mistake, I ran into Fallon in that abandoned warehouse. Isn't that right, Sylvia?
No! Cassian, listen to me. Back then I only—
So what if the man was you? She was still drugged! She's still an addict!
After all these years, your IQ really hasn't grown at all.
So it was her own father who drugged her and set her up.
Richard is ruthless. To take the oil field for himself, he destroyed his own daughter.
Fake! It's AI generated! Fallon forged that video!
Yes, she's framing us. Cassian, you can't believe her.
These account records are hard proof that you purchased hallucinatics 10 years ago. Do we need the FBI to verify your signature?
Let me go! What happened 10 years ago had nothing to do with me! Drugging her was Evelyn's idea, and Richard had someone do it! Send them to prison!
You ungrateful brat!
Shut up!
All of you, shut up!
Hand them over to federal agents. Let them spend the rest of their lives inside.
Get the hell out of here! Cassian, I'm your sister, Alex. Help me beg him.
Don't touch me! Cassian, I swear I knew nothing about the drug aiding. I would never protect this crazy woman.
Alex, you bastard! Get your hands off me!
Are you staying here because you expect me to pour you champagne? Get out of my manor.
So you already found out? The man who slept with me 10 years ago was you.
Yes. I planned to tell you after the wedding. I didn't expect Richard to expose it first. Do you blame me for hiding it?
What's there to blame? If it hadn't been you back then, Richard probably would have sold me to someone even more disgusting.
And now, Fallow, do you still plan to be only my contract ally?
I stopped believing true feelings long ago. But if it's you, I'm willing to bet one more time. But don't push me too hard.
I have the patience to wait for you. Remember this. In Texas, as long as I'm here, you will never lose.
Everyone, the Southern Transportation Network is fully operational. Starting today, the entire energy lifeline of Texas is in our hands. This month, every technical and legal team member involved in the project gets a 10-fold bonus. Cole, especially your team. Well done.
Miss Fallon, if your methods hadn't been tough enough, we never could have cleaned out Richard's old people this thoroughly.
Enough flattery. Take your people and open champagne. My treat.
You schemed for an entire year, and now Rhodes Energy has completely changed hands. Shouldn't Mrs. Caldwell finally save some time for me?
What, can't wait for some alone time?
This year, Richard and the other two were sentenced to more than 100 years. They'll spend the rest of their lives in federal prison. Sylvia was sent to a South American mining district where no one can even understand her when she screams at them.
Finally, some peace. What about Alex?
He slunk out of the United States. Before he left, he cried at the airport and demanded to see you. I had him stopped.
The Texas Tycoon gets jealous over even that?
I simply can't stand trash getting near you. Besides, right now, I'd rather have you.
This is a conference room. Show some restraint.
I've restrained myself for a year. I can't anymore.
Cassian, thank you for always trusting me with your back. And I love you.
Do you have any idea how long I've waited to hear that?
Are you insane? The whole office is outside.
I'm taking you home. Those 4 words you just said, I want you saying them 10,000 times a day in bed.